Hi, I'm Parry, the CEO of Flow. Today, I'm excited to show you the future of requirements tools. Flow helps your engineering team design, test, verify, and iterate massively faster by breaking the silo between requirements and engineering design. In the first half of this demo, I'm going to show you how we get your engineering team on the same page with requirements. And in part two, I'm going to show you how we link these requirements directly to your design tools through a digital twin. This can save you weeks of manual verification time and also help your engineers understand the impact of a change before even committing it. Let's start with requirements. Here you can see the requirements for my launch vehicle project. The requirements here I can assign directly to my engineering team, so they know what they're responsible for implementing. We can see these requirements in a list view or through beautiful visualizations here in my tree view, where I can see the overall structure of my requirements, or I can zoom in and see the detail inside of these requirements and who is collaborating at what level. Now, this hierarchy view, level 0, 1, 2, and so on, is really useful for systems engineers. But engineering designers tend to think in product breakdown structure terms. And I can flip and see these same requirements in a product breakdown structure view. I can see my overall product breakdown structure. And when I zoom in, I can see stage 1 and stage 2, my propulsion side of stage 1, and the nozzle requirement over here, which is owned by Michaela. Let's move back over to our list. Now, top-level requirements break down into lower and lower level quantitative requirements. Here, this injector plate mattress requirement says it must be no more than 3.8 kilograms. Now, the magic is that we can link this requirement directly to the latest CAD model. The latest CAD model says it's 4.43 and it's out of our range, which means this requirement is failing verification. And this brings us on to part two, which is how we link models to requirements through a digital twin. When I click over here, I can see all the models that my engineering team is using to design and verify my requirements. You can see I have a MATLAB model, Excel, simulation, CAD, and Python. And much more importantly, this is pulling out the latest data directly from the latest models. The real complexity here is that this CAD model might be driven by this Python model, which is driven by this fuel pump model. Complex changes like these can take days, if not weeks, to propagate through emails, meetings, and reruns of models. In Flow, we can do that in seconds. Let's have a look at how. If I click into one of these inputs and press dependencies, I can see the complex chain of dependencies that are leading to my requirement failing. This CAD model is being driven by someone else's Python model, which is being driven by a fuel pump model, which is being driven by this value. Typically, as I said, this would take days to propagate, if not weeks. In Flow, I can change it from 6,000 to 7,000. And when I press test, this is going to push this change into the first Python model, which is going to rerun and push the change into the second Python model, which is then going to rerun this CAD model, update the geometries, and test them against my requirements. Let's do that now. When I press test, that's going to run this Python model, run the second Python model, which is now going to push into this Onshape CAD model. Let's see if it makes a change. There you go. And that's going to check against my requirements. And I can see my requirements are now going green, which is great news. Well, thank you for watching the Flow demo. If you'd like to learn more, would love to have a conversation.